They have days where they are just on the verge of tears for no reason? Yes, quite regularly. I've always used crying as a release valve. It just helps when things are a bit much. Yep. Same here. Today is like this, so just decided to go to bed early and hope for a better tomorrow. Yeah. I am frequently there. Hug, offers hug. Yep, had one of them today. It's best to just acknowledge it and try again tomorrow. If you push yourself too hard to try and fix yourself, then it just becomes worse. You can't fix yourself, only heal. Yeah, dog. What did you do as a man when your metabolism slowed down? Ate less, but maintained nutrient density through food choices. Changed my diet. I was strictly relying on exercise to lose weight, but my diet was the problem. FYI, if you are gaining weight in your 30s, it is likely because of lifestyle and diet changes and not metabolism and quat. Your HT does decrease with age but very slowly, like 10 calories less per day per year. https://decalculator.net/. It didn't. I still eat for 3 people, stopped working out, and have abs, veins and broad shoulders. I'd why? Be more mindful of what and how much you put in your mouth. Started testosterone therapy. Best decision of my life when it comes to physical and mental health. Cut the carbs. If you don't burn them, don't eat them. More movement, sports. Slowing down your metabolism is closely related to slowing down your activity. Ate less. It's simple, repeatable and foolproof. You don't need any tricks or special diets. Calories in/calories out. Eat better. Make exercise and clean diet part of the lifestyle. It's a work in progress. Grew man. Surprisingly, chicks dig that in an older man and the extra fat hides my pacemaker. Win-win. Started eating less and I had to cut out most dairy too. You shouldn't have to do much of anything. Between age 18 and 40, your metabolism only slows down by 150 calories per day, assuming 5 feet 10 inches and 165 pounds male. That means if you cut out a can of soda or do a 1.5-mile walk, you're in the same place. The problem when you get older is you're more likely to be sedentary, depending on your job. I work out 4 days a week and it helps my metabolism. Begin to watch what I eat. Calorie deficit and weightlifting. First, I fixed my diet by knowing what I'm putting in my body. I began charting macronutrients and got my balance sorted. Second, started a way better sleep cycle. Third, started going to the gym and really leaned into fitness. Lastly, did blood work to test hormone levels and addressed what I could. As you age, you will battle your metabolism. Don't give into it by poisoning yourself and being sedentary. Metabolism doesn't drop significantly with age. The reason people get fatter is because they get lazier and the bad habits they've developed throughout their life catch up with them. Reality is that age isn't to blame unless you're over the age of 60, at which point it does taper off. They not want to exist as themselves but don't want to die. What does be another person mean to you? Is it somebody with a different situation, attributes, habits, or? I'm not saying you can completely reinvent yourself. You can't grow 5 inches taller. But there's a lot about yourself that you can change, right? Question: if you could wave a magic wand and change yourself into the person you would like to be, what things would you change? Which of those are in your control? How have your political views changed as you've aged? I used to be very far left when I was in my late teens. Eventually in my late 20s I became rather middle, mostly due realizing some things that younger me never realized. In my late 30s I'm pretty much in same place as I was 10 years ago. But I have noted the political atmosphere, especially in last few years, shift towards both extremes, and slightly further to the left. Hence I'm now still fairly center, but slightly right-leaning. I'm happy to declare both extremes bad, but I can admit that on the further ends there are a few points that I do like, and I wish that the extremes could find some form of compromise between them. And no, I'm not American. The more I read and organize in my community, the more radical I become. I've mellowed in my approach, understanding who the real class enemy are. It's not the average right-winger, even though they might see me as the evil commie. Especially unpacking the heavy propaganda the US and the West spews has been something I've grown in. So yeah, I don't think it's age, it's more knowledge. Don't really see myself getting any further though. I'd if that is even possible. I was extremely left as a young teen, but in my early 20s I'd say I'm moderate. I agree with left values, but a lot of lefties, espec in America anyway, really turned me off from supporting a lot of their values. Though I guess UK and USA politics are very different. I also think in regards of politics it's super important to try see both sides of the coin. I used to watch a lot of right and left wing podcasters because I wanted to expand my opinion on issues. I think it's benefited me because it helped me understand why I dislike this and why I like this. So again, moderate now, and it'll probably stay that for a while. Also won't lie, feel like Tumblr made me really hate left politics long time lol. I've always been left of center, ever since mom explained that welfare and food stamps that we use to pay for rent and food come from the government, but the Republicans, under Reagan, want to cut those benefits. I haven't liked Republicans. I was like 3 when she explained this. I've grown to like some individual Republicans and get some nuanced views. As I get older, I get more leftist and more impatient. I vote, yeah, but I also want the hungry to have food now, so I pay it back by donating to the food bank that fed me and volunteering. I want trans people to have human rights now, so I donate to advocacy organizations and march for trans rights. For those considering rhinoplasty, what's holding you back? Money. I could probably save up for rhinoplasty though, but as I'd need my entire face redone to even look remotely average, there's no point in spending that much money on fixing one thing when I'll still never be able to afford to not be ugly. I'm moderately happy with what fillers do for me too. My nose tip is so much prettier, and even though I wish I could do more, it's enough to not make me have breakdowns over my side profile. It's better to spend that money on hobbies, because honestly, no one cares what your nose looks like. Maybe if I was a K-pop idol I'd get my nose done, but I'm a regular person. Nose jobs are awkward. I'm considering it for medical purposes, not for aesthetic purposes. It might make my nose ugly and not work. I learned to contour my nose with makeup to make it look exactly how I want it. Afraid it would look bad. Most, and having to take 6 weeks off of life to recover sufficiently such that it didn't look like I being abused something. It can bruise half your face for over 8 weeks. I think we could all be a little bit prettier with a few modifications, but it's really worth that much sacrifice, emo. They put gauze all throughout your sinus cavity, and that utterly terrifies me. The fear of not being able to breathe properly ever again if it goes wrong. Recovery time, pain, and chance of issues. You like how my nose looks, but I broke it once and it's really hard to breathe out of now. And LT. Cost, recovery, and when I went for my consultation the surgeon asked me why I was even considering it. She said I already had the kind of nose people ask her to give them. I still haven't completely ruled it out, but I'm at like an LT, 10% considering it now. Men of Reddit, what are the greatest misconceptions we have about relationships as a society? That everyone is lovable as they are if only they'd find the one in quad. No, you might just have to put in a bit of effort to find a mate. The relationship escalator is obsolete, and the expectation of one person to be everything to you and you to be everything to them is ludicrous. I teach, relationships and dating are for the convenience of and companionship. People treat it like it's more serious until one of them cheats. The fairy tale notion that some seem to try and desperately keep grasping onto. You can madly in love with your partner. However, you're gonna still have attraction to other people, maybe even innocent crushes you'll never act on. You're going to fight. You're going to irritate each other sometimes. You're going to accidentally grab the wrong toothbrush, and it's okay, it feels gross. You're both going to live, and you're both going to have to work at it sometimes. It's not always going to be great. If two people really do fit though, I think it's way more good times than bad times. Just, don't expect bluebirds every morning. That people actually know anything about them. Judging by all the advice people give, I've learned that anyone who has been lucky enough to find a relationship has zero idea of how they got there. That there's the one somewhere out there. Don't get me wrong, the one exists. However, it's not like a Hollywood movie. Over the years you will grow together. You'll change and they will change with you. You could have chosen any number of partners at the beginning and they would have been replaceable. That love and a relationship will solve all of your problems and help you get your together overnight. Relationships are work. A lot of work actually. They don't magically fix your problems. They don't magically give you all the confidence you need to tackle life. They won't make up for the fact that you don't like yourself. And while they are certainly an opportunity for learning and bettering yourself, they don't magically get your together for you. You have to do that yourself still. That there's a magic formula to make it work. That's partially true. The formula is learn to communicate and figure out the actual formula for you and your partner. Beyond that, what worked for one couple may not work for another. Just talk. Sometimes that's not enough and it won't work no matter how much you try, but talking will solve most of the problems. That if you do everything you can to make your lady happy then you'll be happy. That's total bullshit. She needs to pull her weight to make you happy too. Karma isn't real. Plenty of bad happens to good people and plenty of good happens to, or more appropriately, is stolen by evil people. That female privilege and entitlement doesn't exist, that looks don't matter, that love for a partner is unconditional, that marriage still works and makes sense. That dating or long-lasting relationships are easy. Nothing about dating women are easy, lol. Not to hate on women either. Men are just much simpler creatures to understand and I think everyone can agree on that.